And we're back with the 3D sculpting part of the stream. This is what I did the other day. I didn't have a lot of time, it was a short art stream. I added some wrinkles here to the shirt, but this is not final really. I was going to bring back the original shapes. I didn't even divide it properly. I added this buckets to the vest because again I wanted for it to look a bit less formal and a bit more utilitarian. I added these things to the, well, I did the belt the other day. I wanted to add something where he could sort of carry like tools or maybe a pouch or something. He's gonna be having a sort of field day. Collecting magical ingredients in the forest and whatnot. So I thought he was looking like he was dressed kind of formal. This is obviously not how a buckle works. I put it as a bit of a placeholder. Let's split masked. I was looking at some reference of kind of medieval trousers, and I saw something like this with this kind of buttons in the fly sort of area, and I thought they'd look okay to give it like some kind of detail without being something too elaborate. I think I'm gonna go back to these shapes before the sort of little texturing that I did the other day was sort of a temporary thing. It's just for the sake of giving the thing some detail. I'm gonna bring back this I'm going to save this so I'm going to export it. And I'm gonna go back to the other scene. Again, there's nothing wrong with this, but it was just to see what it could look like. None of that was final. Now, where did you go? Oh my god. Really? Are you really gonna do that to me? Why? Why oh why? Okay. Okay, back here. I can now go back to give this a proper finishing, a proper look. Because again, what I did the other day was just for the sake of seeing what kind of detail it needed, but it wasn't definitive. Again, I'm not sure if these are exactly the proportions that I'm going to use for him. This feet. Again, I don't know exactly what kind of shoes he needs. I don't know if I'm gonna do like pointy sort of fantasy dwarf sort of shoes. I wanted for him to have sort of big feet. I don't know why this isn't more flat on the surface. This is a dummy. These parts that I'm using are a kind of a male dummy that I use sometimes when I'm doing male characters. So I don't have to do an entire body from scratch. I wasn't going to do this with that. I wasn't really going to use it with this character, but because I wanted to do everything from scratch here and now with him, but I'm breaking my own rule for a while and for a bit, because it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do things that I've done before that I can reuse, that are kind of basic body parts anyway. They're not like fully fleshed features that I'm using. I have to repurpose them, resize them. Give them their own identity for this character anyway, so it's not like I'm copy-pasting anything as it is. For this sort of fly situation, I don't know if I should make it separate. The other day, just to see what it could look like, I had sort of sculpted it on top. Oh great, you're going to crash. That's wonderful, that's a great start. Be right back. And we're back after the crash. Yeah. What a start. Did you save anything? Oh, I lost what I had done with the feet. Which wasn't much anyway. It was just some basic remeshing here with kind of a lower poly count than I did before, just some polishing again. And I had reshaped a little bit the heel. I had made the sole sort of flatter, because for some reason it's not. The heel I want to be rounder. Again, I want him to have sort of big feet, big hands, to be like one of the sort of cartoony, sort of less human features that he has. Because he's humanoid, but he's not human. Again, as I've said before, I always tell the same story. But well, since I'm working on my OC and nobody else knows what it is, originally it was going to be a sort of a goblin character, but then I decided that I was going to change the lore and make it more like a still looks like a sort of a goblin, but he was actually made by a wizard. He's sort of a Frankenstein's monster creation. And he's a bit, I don't necessarily want to say discriminated against because of that, but sort of. He's a bit reluctant to use any magic or anything. He was trained by his wizard maker, sort of father in a way, to use some magic, but he's not a magical creature himself, having been created by magic. That's not how magic works. If you could create a super powerful magical being, it'd be a kind of a loophole, and every wizard would create a super powerful creature, or some creature more powerful than themselves. This guy has some magic in him that he doesn't even know about, and a lot of people around him don't know. But they also assume he was created as some sort of servant. They don't think of him as much, and he's appreciated, he's loved, but at the same time he's not taken too seriously, and he has sort of internalized it, and he doesn't take himself too seriously. I don't know if they should be, this should be rounder maybe. If I inflate them, then I could downsize them again, but for the sake of making them a bit more round, maybe I can inflate them a bit. Where's deformation? Okay. What is inflate balloon doing, for God's sake? Why doesn't it ever... Oh, there we go. Why does it never works the way it's intended? That way the heel is more rounded, I feel like. Maybe I should have flattened it more first, and then... Oh. Let's really flatten the surface. Let's give him a fully flat foot, and remesh again. And now let's inflate balloon, and that gives me a rounded with a perfectly flat bottom kind of shoe. I don't know what detail should I give the shoes. don't know if I should give them kind of like a little boot. Should I give it laces? Should I give it some kind of straps with buckles? I really don't want to give it laces, to be honest. I don't know if these are too big. Are those too big? I want for his feet and hand to be big, but maybe this is kind of silly. In this sort of fly situation here, I don't know if I should just extract this area and make it like a separate piece. Because the other day I 3D sculpted it on top. I did like a clay build-up thing. It doesn't look good. Is this the right shape and size? Is it gonna... I don't want to draw a lot of attention to his crotch, but this is like a kind of pants that doing a little research, I sort of liked. And I think it might work. I'm going to have to move the buttons forward, and well, right, let's remesh this. Maybe let's polish a bit first, and we can push it back a little bit. We're still going to have to move the buttons. Well, maybe not. Let's remesh now. Maybe lower count. Okay. Again, I don't want to draw attention to his crotch, but I like this kind of pants that had this sort of fly with buttons, and they were sort of puffy and drapey. I will do something else for the buckle. I don't know exactly what. I had this idea of perhaps doing it like E-shaped, like this E, the stylized E in ERGOL. But I don't know if he's vain enough. I don't think he's vain enough to use his own initial, like a prominent sort of decoration in his clothes. I don't know. Back to the shoes. I thought perhaps they could be pointy. Let's save this. I saved this as much as I saved Tomb Raider, but because I between the fact that it crashes every now and then, or the fact that I want to save some different versions of things. Should I mask the bottom so I don't bring it up? Don't pull it like this. Is that really the tip? Maybe it's this. I don't know if it's too silly. I want something somewhat cartoony, somewhat fairy tale-ish. I don't want it to be completely silly, but I want it to be like it had, for it to have some personality, you know. I don't want it to be completely bare bones. I don't want anything too fancy also, because again, he's going to have this sort of day in the field, and he should be comfy. Nothing should appear to be too fancy, but I want to give it some flair. I want to give it some personality as well. Is that a lot? Is that not enough? What is this? Oh, perspective is turned off. I think that's a good sort of curve and a good sort of little detail. I could now remesh it to remesh this tip. Should I make these too flat? No, that's not what I was going for. Is this what I was looking for? If I cut that, is that going to have like a shoe shape? Yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. It's a bit too much, but I don't know if these are too flat here. It looks like they don't have any room for toes. I'm cutting way too much. I cut the top, I'm still making like a great opening. Should I... maybe make the ankle out of this? Out of a calf part? This is a strange kind of curve here. I should either bring it down here or up here. I don't know if this is exactly what I was going for. Should I make it just a straight slice? More like that. This should be lower. I don't know. I should give the actual shoe some kind of shape here. I was looking for some references. There are nothing like what I'm looking for. But some have some kind of lace around really the mouth of the shoe, the opening of the shoe, instead of here. I'm probably going to have to remesh this to what? Was symmetry not even on? Well, it doesn't matter. There it is. Are those gonna keep its shape if I just leave them? I subdivide them now. I might really finish him today if I decide what is the way to go with the trousers and the shirt, and I should do just some sort of satchel that he's going to be wearing, and that would be pretty much it for the basic character. I'm not sure how can I do should I make the calves a little bit bigger here? Sometimes I switch back to the red clay sort of material because it's easier to see some of the shapes and some detail. I don't want him to seem like too muscular or anything. He's supposed to be more on the skinny side, but he still has to have the shapes that he has to have and the muscles. Again, I don't know if I'm going to keep these hands. I might for this sort of version of him, but I don't know if I'm just going to give him 3 fingers and a thumb, or 4 like this full human hand. I think it's also one of the things that would separate him from the human character, or more human-like characters, to give him like cartoon fingers. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm probably gonna go back to the buckle here and do something differently. This is like actually like strings, but I'm trying to use it for it to look like stitches as a sort of a trim for the belt. I don't remember what this sort of needle point is called. I don't want it to look like it's colliding with the edge. I don't know if I should inflate it a little bit, or re-inflate it back a little, because I deflated it for it to look less like a string, like kind of like this, and more like this sort of stitches. Is that too much? Just 1 point. I don't know. Again, it was just an attempt to give it some kind of detail to the otherwise plain belt, to give the thing some personality, because I don't want it to be just a strip of leather. Again, the buckle is temporary. I don't know if I'm going to keep the pockets in the vest. Going back to the shoes, I think maybe if I could mask this area and pull the rest, just to give it some personality. Oh. I don't I don't know if this is going to work, but I thought I could perhaps do like some, maybe with a, what is going on with this brush, maybe pull this up and back in. On the inside too. Is that too thin on this side? It's should be closer to the front. I don't know if that's the way to go, but well, something like this. This is very asymmetric. And one edge got much thicker than the other, but I don't know. I'm just trying to give the shoe some personality, but I don't know if this is the way to go. Probably something like that, but done correctly. This is not really the way. I don't know if I should separate the soles. Is this any remotely what it should be? This I should make. Yeah. Sorry. This I should make sort of more narrow, maybe. Or it's gonna sort of collide with the inside. Let's relax this whole area. I don't know if this should. Oh. Why do I still have the inflate? Does this move? Yes. I'm getting the wrong brushes all the time. I don't know if this should be pointier up here, or maybe it should droop down and like fold over instead of being this stiff going up. No, what am I looking for? Yeah, that. Again, maybe this. I'm gonna revert to this and save this, because I like that shape, and go back all the way with this. In case I have to go back to the basic shape of the shoe that I liked, the pointy shoe, and that's it. If I used deformation and used gravity for this, would it? No, it just falls over. If I mask this, Jesus. That's so not what I intended. Does this do anything? No, it just makes it collapse. Is there a way for me to bend this? Bend generally, yeah, bends around a middle point, like up there. It's not gonna bend from here. But well, maybe if I just rotate it, sort of forcing this shape into that position, then I will reshape it again. But maybe that's what I can do here to give the shape that I need. To look more organically, like it just folds over. Again, now I should go back and pull all of this back into place. Then I'll make this area sort of relax a bit. I think that could be better than what I had going on. Now the tricky part is gonna do the same on the other side, in a remotely symmetrical-ish way. I should mask everything that I don't want to affect is I'm just going to rotate it and sort of brute force it into position. That looks terrible. But fixable? Question mark. Why is it doing that? Oh, I should have masked this part here. Okay, now again. Where are we? My dog is barking at something. Oh, I hope everything's alright. I can't really go check right now. Well, I could, but... Oh. Should I bring it in this way and then again relax this sort of part? What? No. That's not what I intended. This ended up having an edge that the other side doesn't have. A height here. This is very wrong, but maybe I should have done separately this thing, and then sort of merge it together and reshape it back and forth. But I guess it is what it is. So I bring this forward to face this other part here. I should massage this until the shape relaxes a bit. Now I should redo some sort of opening, because right now it doesn't look like it's open like a shoe. And obviously it's not, it's a solid shape. So it looks like what it is. Maybe I should inflate this again on this side a little bit, because I flattened it too much. The topographical brush lets me move an area without affecting so much the surrounding areas. That's exactly what I need right now. should have posted about this at DeviantArt or something, but well, I haven't been very active over there for a while, so it's not like I'm gonna get a lot of views from there. It's so sad. I used to be more active, it used to be a better community, but between the fact that they pushed the new UI and then a lot of people left also because of the new AI stuff, I don't even know where half my friends are anymore. I like the fact that these are really one piece. I was going to do this sort of flaps, folds thing separately, but I think it's better this way. Even when I didn't do a great job. I should now do sort of a crease here, and I never find the can never find the crease brush. That's just my custom version of the, what is it called? The damn standard brush. Because I really like how the crease tool works on Sculptris. I started 3D sculpting on Sculptris, and I really wanted to have a similar tool here, but nothing quite worked like it. So I modified the damn standard brush to behave a bit more like the Sculptris crease. Why is this so... Right, because I've extended all of this. Am I making any sense with this? This looks so rough. As it is. I also wish the pinch thing worked more like the Sculptris one. I really don't know how to do that. It's a completely different brush. Well, what I could do is move over to Sculptris for just this and then come back here. I don't do it so much anymore. Again, I started my 3D sculpting in Sculptris, so I used to use it a lot more and do more of a back and forth between Sculptris and ZBrush. But now I don't leave ZBrush so much. I don't even start things in Sculptris all the time, as I did before. I don't know if this is affecting the exterior in some way that I don't want. Doesn't look like it. So far so good. I need to really make the opening of the shoe, or at least the shape, so it kinda looks like the ankle and the foot is going into it, as opposed to being two shapes sort of clipping into each other. Is the stream still working? so weird that my Stream Elements bot is supposed to uh, I added some timer messages, some timed messages for the bot to say. I don't know if I did it wrong or I disabled it again because it hasn't said anything. It was supposed to say like a little something like every 30 minutes, and it's never done anything. It's never said anything. It's probably not the most riveting content, but I've been happy to be streaming my progress with my little OC here. It's really helped me keep going. It helped me getting it started, really. I mean, this is something that I wanted to be my passion project this year, and a lot of things happened and I didn't even start it. So now that I can stream it, it's been like a great way to really make myself work on this. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish anything that I intended. I was ideally going to do a bit of a little animated thing with these characters. Not fully animated and not 3D animated. I cannot. Rigging this kind of models and animating them is a whole other set of skills that I don't have, with a whole other set of programs that I don't even know how to use. Again, Blender would probably be a great option, but I never really got it to work for me. People make amazing things in Blender, and Blender has become more and more versatile. Now you can even do 2D animation and even edit your video with it. Keeps adding more and more functionalities that both is great, and it's also made it seem like less accessible to me in a way, if that makes any sense. It's only made it more complicated or more intimidating, and I remember when I tried it a long time ago, I didn't really like the interface. I didn't really like moving around that space in the way you have to. It's not. Even a lot of Blender users will tell you, yeah, it's not the most user-friendly interface. It's a nightmare. It's very counterintuitive. I remember even Captain Dissolution, in his sort of in that Blender convention thing that he spoke, he pointed out all of that stuff. It's amazing how versatile it is. For animation, for modeling. It really does so much. But it doesn't really do much for me. To me, it's just this alien thing that I don't have time to figure out. So what I would do is a bit of a hybrid sort of animation, quasi-animatics. Uh, Maybe even a sort of a glorified motion comic. I had this idea for this story for a long time, and I was really going to use it as part of a different story. It was a story that was going to be told inside another story, and that is probably not going to happen. I'm not going to tell the main story the way I intended, so I'm not going to use this sub-story in the way that I intended either. So I thought I'd recycle it into its own thing. Probably I should give him real feet. I don't know if he's ever going to take his shoes. But well, for now, for the purposes of this first incarnation of him, I think I don't necessarily need to give him feet. Why have I been stretching these few polys? That's another good thing about Sculptress, that they have integrated into the Sculptress. That's part of the current ZBrush. This is a bit of an old version, so Sculptress is still separate. But the fact, the possibility and the capability of adding more polys where you need them, that's one of the main appeals of Sculptress, and that's the reason why they ended up building it into ZBrush instead of going back and forth between two different things. Now it's something that's integrated. How can I... Here there's a sort of an inside out shape thing. Maybe I could correct. Why is it not doing it? Why? Oh, I lowered the intensity and didn't even realize. I think it looks like a relatively organic shape, like it's behaving like real material would, with these things flapping over, falling over, folding over. Again, I'm not going for any sort of realism in any capacity, but here there's this weird... There we go. There's this weird overlap of shapes. That's not what I want. Oh. Yeah, but I didn't want to do that either. I didn't want to make a bump in here. Is it still doing it? I should switch to red wax again. Can I remesh this again? I don't know if I could make this pointier. If it didn't make sense, or it'd be, if it'll look better if it's like a pointy shape instead of rounded. I think that's better, or that's more realistic. You don't make that kind of material. Can I do this with the topology equalize the surface area? Maybe now remesh. Maybe I should inflate them again a little bit. There's something I like and something I don't, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I should relax the edges a little bit. Maybe I should inflate this a little bit here. It's gotten a bit too thin. No. Soften it again. Are these ankles even correctly, anatomically speaking, correctly shaped? There's the bone here should be protruding here a bit, right? But maybe it's this really. This here. As soon as I finish a somewhat acceptable version of this character, I should start working on the sorceress type. And I don't really know what to do with her. She was originally going to be a fairy, then I changed the whole lore and origin story and the whole world thingy, and I thought she should be a kind of a young sorceress, daughter of a more important sorceress. Is this too thick here? And again, originally she was going to be a fairy, and from that I thought she should be just human. And having changed the whole lore and everything, and having made ERGOL this sort of experiment, I don't want to have a sort of a Beauty and the Beast situation with them where she's like a normal human and he's like a weirdo. So I thought I could give her some fantasy features too, or make her some kind of fantasy creature, as I originally intended. Again, she was going to be a fairy. I thought I could make her, since ERGOL has all this mushroom features, I thought in time she could have some either animalistic features or something. I thought she could be sort of feline in a way. Give her a cat face basically, and make her more of a less of a beauty and more of a beast herself in a way, to put it in those terms of Beauty and the Beast. But I don't really know. The idea is not for her. To be any kind of strange creature. She's supposed to be more of a normie. But I might give her still some kind of unique feature. Something that perhaps hints at something to do with her magic. Something to do with her mother, being one of the 3 great mages that protected the land. So I basically thought of making her either a cat person or some kind of an owl. Maybe I'm gonna save the owl thing for the other sorceress, the only one that survived the big battle in this against evil. ERGOL's maker, the wizard that made ERGOL, died in that battle, sort of sacrificed himself. And also Astrid Mothers sort of died first in the battle, and that's why the wizard decided to sacrifice himself so no one else would die. That's a story that I'm going to explore sort of superficially. It's not what the story... It's not really the story that I want to tell with ERGOL. It's more of a backstory. Maybe a lot of people are going to tell me, why don't I tell that story instead? It's more epic and maybe more interesting. But I want to tell a small story with ERGOL set in that world, and that's it. Something bothers me about this shape and I can't tell what it is. I'm trying to fix it and I think I'm only making it worse. Well, it's probably too subtle and doesn't really make any difference. Going back to the shoes. Again, some that I was using as reference have this sort of lace around here. Laces, not lace. But I don't really know what to do. I don't know if I should separate the soles again. Maybe I can do that. I'm a bit stuck right now. I really don't know what to do. Maybe if I select that and extract it to make the soles. I'm maybe gonna make them thick so I can keep a shape that I like. Flatten. Where are you? Maybe flatten them. going to polish. No. Well, that could work. But polish by features so as not to make the edges too round. And now remesh. Polish by features again. I can raise them like that, so the shoes have soles, which adds a bit of a detail that it didn't have before, and I think it's better. I don't know if I should add some kind of strap, some kind of buckles, some kind of ornament. Probably not. Again, especially for the kind of day that ERGOL's gonna have. He probably wouldn't wear anything fancy or naked in any way. He needs something comfy. Okay, that's too intense. That's not doing anything. That's any kind of improvement. Right. Again, I wish the pinch brush here was more like the sculptress one. That's way too intense. It deforms things weirdly, not quite in the way I want. Maybe I should mask the inside of the shoe, so I won't affect this part. So much. Yeah, maybe that's better, but I'm not keeping those changes. I feel like if I added like a strap and a buckle or something, it's gonna look like a kind of pilgrim shoe that it's not really what I'm going for. It's almost Thanksgiving, but I'm not going for that. Not for this guy. Maybe I can make this curvier up here. This looks so completely asymmetric. Like, that's the good thing about symmetry when you got it. You can then break it, but you can have your basic shape look the way you want, and then break it. I feel like I keep feeling I should add a crease here, but it's not really what it's not looking great. This side looks nothing like the other side. I don't know how much, well, today I know, but in general I don't know for how much longer I'm gonna keep streaming. I have some time now in November, and I probably will have some time again in December, but I'm not going to be able to be very consistent, I feel like. And that's probably not a great thing if you're trying to grow your channel. I probably won't be able to make it like to affiliate or anything. I don't intend to monetize this. I don't think I could anyway. My country being what it is, and well, I know there are streamers and everything, but my bank situation being what it is. I cannot even subscribe to people I want to support. I probably wouldn't be able to collect either. Why? I don't know if I should bring this just one shoe to the middle of the screen and make it symmetric and then break the symmetry again, or if I should just leave it like this. I can afford the luxury anyway to waste time on this. Right now, if I was doing this for like my daily challenge, I would just do whatever I can whenever I can, and the way the first test, the first attempt becomes final, because I have very limited time. I will do my, probably, unless something is really off, I will do my daily challenge, 3D sculpting challenge, again, and for the 9th time now, in April. I've done it every April since 2017. I did it for the first time in 2015 as a one-off. I did it in September. And it was good, it was fun, it was fine. But I didn't necessarily intend to do it ever again, so I didn't do it in 2016. 2016 being the terrible year that it was anyway. But in 2017 I thought I'd bring it back, and in April, a month that I could afford the luxury of spending a lot of time every day doing like a different fun art 3D sculpt for the entire month. So I did it in 2017 and it became an annual sort of tradition for me. And I always keep telling myself that it's the last time that I do it, because it's very time consuming. And really tough on me. But well, last year I did it and it was year 8. So I thought, well, I might as well do it a couple more times and do it for a decade. So next year is gonna be year 9, and I'm probably going to make it unless something really prevents me from doing it. I've been meaning to make like a little reel to show here, like on as a be right back sort of screen, or to show raiders maybe, because I'm very bad at talking about what I do, and it doesn't tell people much. It probably gives them the wrong idea. I'm not a professional. I'm not a super great sculptor. Nothing of what I do is like super detailed or anything. But I am proud of a couple of the many things that I've done over the years, in and out of my daily challenge, and I could put together a little reel of those and to show people. To post on social media too, maybe. It's been a while since I do make a reel or like a wrap-up video every day of every year of the work that I've done during the challenge. But I don't have anything showing the stuff that I've done since 2012. Well, maybe I shouldn't include everything in there, but maybe I shouldn't go back that far for my reel. But I am kind of happy even with a lot of my early stuff. I'm not ashamed of anything. I don't know if everything is completely showable, but I would like to include some of that early stuff in my little reel. I feel like I'm making a lot of noise with my headset. I don't know if it's coming through on the actual stream, or if it's just the actual physical headset that's should I bring this down lower to match the other side a little bit better? Of course, it doesn't have to be symmetric, but when it looks like it's not the same kind of thing. I don't even know anymore. These shoes. Should I bring this back up a little bit? It's a bit too depressed here. I think that's a little bit more even. Again, straps, no straps, buckles, but it would be like only the decorative. I don't think it'd serve any other purpose if I added like a buckle. Is this too thin here? No. I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't know why my knees hurt so much when I sit here in this chair. Maybe because I cannot really stretch my legs under the desk here. Happens to me only here. Well, I'm a little distracted here. I don't know what to do with what I have. The freaking buckle. Maybe I can do a little work on the satchel. The satchel is going to be a bit like a Mary Poppins bag kind of situation. He's going to put too much stuff into it. Well, I wasn't intending to do that, but since we're at it. Is this thing... oh, right. It's one big stretched thing in the middle. That's... how do I do this? In terms of symmetry, in terms of... oh, did I undo the remesh? Should probably flatter on one side. That's a very strange shape. Should be more flat on one side. Should pull. I don't know. Should be something very simple. How do I do the strap? Really? Maybe I can't recycle the belt? Oh, I can. I can extract. Maybe a shape from a cylinder again, as I did the belt. I don't know if I should make it hollow, because he's gonna open it anyway, and we are gonna need for it to have some kind of interior thing. No. Oh my god, I'll never know what is the point of this tool. I accidentally press. I don't even know what I press, and that happens. This is too close to the... Does this make any sense? Whatsoever? Oh, I didn't realize this got masked as well. Well, this is very uneven, but we can try this. Again, like everything else, none of this is set in stone, it's just a first attempt at this kind of thing. I'm trying to find the right shape for things. I might not end up doing anything with this anyway. It's really so time consuming, and I'm just doing it to indulge myself a little bit. I'm a frustrated filmmaker. I went to film school, but I didn't even graduate or anything. Why is it so squiggly here? want to mask this part so I can really trim this without affecting that other side. Please. I don't know if this is going to work. Professional sculptor would dread looking at this. I'm just a dabbler. Lucky a professional would never take me seriously. Lucky they don't come here to haste me or anything. I've had some odd criticism of my work over the years, but at least nobody's been very mean so far. That's why I was afraid of Twitch too. I thought people might search for ZBrush 3D-Sculpting or whatever and might find this and think, what the hell am I doing? Again, lucky nobody has been too mean. I've gotten some condescending comments and whatever, but nothing overtly mean. That's also why I'm afraid of doing something in animation. I know the actual animation community can be very gatekeepy and very aggressive sometimes. But probably I shouldn't worry about anything. Most likely I won't even get noticed. If I ever get to finish anything. Where is the cylinder? Okay. Let's bring it here. Why that thing again? I hate this freaking tool. I hope they removed it in recent versions of ZBrush. 'Cause I don't know what the hell the point is. Okay, even I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Should I... do this? Maybe now remesh. No, not same. No, no, no. Kind of low target poly count. At least streaming has become a way to document this sort of my process and my progress with this. I always thought of sort of vlogging it somehow, and I didn't know how that would have worked. But streaming really has become a way of documenting things. Again, this was going to be my passion project. And it was so difficult to get it started. I had done some research for looking for inspiration, references, whatever, and my laptop broke and I lost everything I had. I lost even the screenplay that I had. One of the first things that I did when I had a functioning laptop again was rewriting the screenplay. This is a really weird way to make the strap, but yeah, no, that's really not what I intended. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, I know and I don't know. this is kind of short, isn't it? It should be longer. The whole thing should be smaller anyway. I don't think I'm gonna finish it today. I've been kind of struggling with the simplest thingies. Maybe here I can do like a thingy here for a button. It's way too thick. This is too thin. I don't even know. That's a really stupid way to do this, but it might work. I don't know. I'm like a little deflated today. I feel like my first streams were a bit more stimulating for me. Instead of getting better, I feel like I've only gotten worse. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes I don't know how I do this for an entire month, and now I cannot carry on with this. I don't know if I should put like a button there or a different kind of thingy. Maybe I can turn it into... Oh. How did I deform this? Oh. I didn't even realize. Maybe there I can put just a little shape of some sort. So hard for me to try to talk and not know what to say. I also try not to sing. That's gonna get weird if I started singing on stream. If it's awkward already, imagine if I sung. I'm making this silly design and I'm really not thinking right now of how I would animate it if when he needs to open it. What's it gonna look like? I absolutely cannot animate this the way I'm doing it. But I'm really not thinking of that right now. Where did I save that? I saved that in the completely wrong folder. Great, great, great. Maybe I should. I've been thinking of giving the clothes some stitches and maybe I should do that with a satchel now. I'll be right back. I'm gonna look for the brush that I looked for before and could never find. I have to open my Explorer, and so I'm gonna put this on I finally found my brush that I couldn't find before. I made this very basic brush with just a very simple shape. Meant to look like stitches. When it works, when it lets me. I so hate the subdivision thing getting in the way. Thought of maybe something like this. Maybe I should do something that looks like two halves that actually need to be stitched together first. At least I've found the thing. Okay. I'm gonna save this, hopefully to the right folder. And I'm going to slice. Where are the slice brushes? Is that maybe here? Now I can split. Oh no. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. Lucky I saved. I forgot that it's masked. Now can I do this? Should be there. I should adjust the shape better before I do this. Shouldn't be like this pointy curved thing, right? It should be more straight. It should be a bit more flat here. And then maybe once I define this shape a bit more, I can split it in two and stitch it together and make it look like it's made of two halves. I don't know, I've been wanting to add stitches to some element for a while, and it didn't work really with the clothes, so I thought, well, it could be the satchel. Might be wrong too, but we can try it. Might be the completely wrong approach, but there's nothing to lose. Should I remesh it again? It's very low, but I'm gonna have to delete this subdivision anyway. And now slice it. There should be an easier way to do this, like the what is it called? There's a brush for this. Something like that, but inwards instead of what I just did. Let it connect in the middle. Now, let's... No. Jesus Christ. Is there any way to... do this, but... like this, maybe? No. Why doesn't it do... want it to go inside, not like this. It goes to show that I don't know the first thing. Oh, there we go. But not that hard. Much smaller. That could have worked too for the... That's interesting. I never knew how that worked. Get out. Why now it lets me move the curve at it when it didn't before, instead of applying the thing. This thing is such a frigging mystery to me. Okay, anyway. Can we do what the brush is supposed to do? What's doing it? That's so not what I intended. Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna do it the way I initially thought. Slicing it. No, not trimming it, slicing it. Slice. Curve. Is that a good shape? Now I'm gonna split each half. Well, now I need to close this hole, because if there's absolutely nothing on this side, I need in modify topology close holes. Now I have a half, proper half of the thing. Now I'm going to choose the other half and do the same, close holes. Now, for the sake of applying the same tools in the same, with the same intensity to both halves. I'm going to merge them together again, and now they are two halves that are clearly split. Again, I don't know if I should have made it hollow before doing this. Now if I polish a little bit, it's going to soften the seam sort of area. That's going to make it more apparent. And then I can apply the actual sort of stitches that I always wanted to do. I'm gonna try it here with smaller thingy. It doesn't do the corners very well, looks like. Is that too small? Is this too big? What is the right size? Is that gonna work? No. Oh my god. That is so not what I intended. This should be less squiggly. Luckily it corrects itself. I don't know, I just keep wanting to give this some kind of detail, some kind of little touch of its own. Correcting this frigging curve should be easier. I can make some adjustment later. This should have bigger stitches, well, not that much bigger. Certainly not this big. Wow, and they sunk in a weird way inside of the thing. Maybe I should, because it doesn't know what to do with the actual surface of the seam here. because it's not like a flat surface, so I should do this right outside and then move it closer to the actual scene. Are these too big? Because I want them to be bigger than the ones on the lid, but I think that's okay. Why is this locked? Well, fine. Split those. Anyway, I have to merge everything together to put it in place. Let's save and give it a try. There are a bunch of shapes that I saved in case I needed to revert to some older version of some parts. But right now, I think it's not going to be necessary. Which side should it be on? The left, I think. Well, what's going on? Why is it not? Why does it keep snapping like that? It's not... Oh, it's pinned. Freaking pin thing. Okay. Is the strap too thin? Probably it is. Well, that's more or less where it should be. I don't know, that's more like it. More or less what it should be, and where it should be. And wow, I wasn't even looking at the time. This really is all the time that I have for today. I'd like to do like a sort of little render. I wish I could go back and bring the details that I did the other day. Can I really open this? Is this the one? No. Is this the one? Did I delete it? Well, I guess I did. It wasn't a lot of detail, it was just some wrinkles that I added here and there. I'm going to just render this instead. Going to make a little render of this, let's just save something. And I guess that's the progress I've been able to do today, and the actual stuff we have for today. Maybe the strap should be longer, because if this is like too high, it should be lower on the hip. Or it's too much like a purse right now. But yeah, well, I was kind of thinking of the placement of the arm here. Maybe he should wear it like more towards the back, so it won't bother him. And again, lower. Maybe the right position is something more like this. I'm completely deforming the strap. I should probably redo it when I find the correct placement for the satchel. But it might be something more like this here. Otherwise it's a bit too much like a purse. It's not convenient enough if it's kind of in the way. I'm gonna save a render like this. And I guess that's it for today. Again, tomorrow I should have a full day of streaming, unlike most Thursdays. I will probably do again a little Tomb Raider, and then I'll be back to this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with more Tomb Raider and ERGOL.